Today we will talk about updates in the Ariana Davis case and young threat arrest, and the Drippa story. First, we will get into the recent arrest in the Ariana Davis case. A second suspect, a 19-year-old, has been arrested in the murder of 10-year-old Ariana Davis, who died after a bullet flew through her family's car on Mother's Day, the Metropolitan Police Department announced Wednesday. Dallas McKinney of Southeast D.C. is accused of first-degree murder while armed. Ariana's family had celebrated Mother's Day and was in the 3700 block of Hayes Street, NE, west of DC 295, when a barrage of gunshots was fired, police said. Witnesses said they heard more than 50 shots. The car Ariana was riding in was directly behind the suspect vehicle when the family saw multiple people get out of the car and begin shooting, police said. Ariana's family believes their car was struck by other people returning fire, police said. A witness in the victim's car told investigators they weren't aware Ariana was injured until a younger child in the car said, "Ari, don't die." When the family realized the child had been shot in the upper body, they rushed to a firehouse. She was then rushed to a hospital. Ariana died 3 days later. Since the shooting, the community came forward with a number of tips and video evidence. Through community cooperation and the tireless work of MPD's homicide branch, detectives were able to identify suspects, DC police said. The first suspect, 19-year-old Karen Gregory of Southeast, was arrested in September 2023. He was also charged with first-degree murder while armed, authorities said. Investigators are still searching for more suspects who were involved in the shooting and urged anyone who knows anything to come forward. DC police are offering a reward of $45,000 for information leading to an additional arrest. Nearly half of that amount was provided by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives and FBI's Washington Field Office.
A second arrest is made more than 8 months after a 10-year-old girl was shot and killed in Northeast D.C.
This tragedy unfolding last Mother's Day with the family of Ariana Davis seeking justice. Fox 5's Nana Senyo Bones, who joins us now from police headquarters with the very latest developments. Nana?
Guys, good evening. A second man is in police custody for the May 14th shooting that killed 10-year-old Ariana Davis. Now, a first suspect was arrested last year in September, but tonight, 19-year-old Dallas McKinney is looking at a first-degree murder charge for his involvement in the shooting. Police tell us that 10-year-old Ariana was sitting in the car with her family on the 3700 block of Hayes Street when a stray bullet hit her in the head. She died several days later at a local hospital. Now, let's go back to 19-year-old McKinney. He has been in police custody since September for a carjacking on Talbot Street in Southeast. So he's been transferred from the D.C. jail to homicide with this new charge. Now, through court documents, we are learning that he was wearing an ankle monitor during the time of Ariana's shooting. D.C. police are able to connect him to her shooting through a shell casing discovered at the scene of her murder that linked to a shooting in April of 2022 on Erie Street in Southeast, where police say McKinney is responsible for that shooting and was arrested for assault with a dangerous weapon and destruction of property. Now, these court documents are very lengthy, but the main takeaway is that McKinney, the second suspect, was known to D.C. police. He's expected in court next month. Guys.
Congress Park affiliate Young Foot Soldier would also be arrested with Lil Dallas, but the charges have yet to be released. A while back, Young Foot Soldier was wanted on person of interest for jacking a watch on U Street. The next topic will be the young threat arrest. I went over this arrest in my last video and all the details of it, and only a few days later, rapper Young Threat would be released on electronic monitoring, aka Daybox. He would be picked up after being released by his older brother, Young Jose.
But you real could call them. That's how I know they could talk to me. Look.
Oh, you got the pumpkin seeds on and everything.
Amazing.
What you was over there doing?
Push-up, sit-ups, burpees. You ever get my...
The last topic will be the Drippa story. Drippa was a well-respected member from 37th who had problems with Simple City. Drip was also a Fox 5 member, and 2 days before his passing, 2 Fox 5 members, Bug and Reek, would pass. After this, allegedly Drip would get in the car with multiple Fox 5 members and try spinning Simp. But things would go left, and Drip would be pushed out that ride around 37th. 2 adult males were shot around 8:39 p.m. on Thursday in the 4400 block of E. St. C. Both were conscious and breathing after the shooting. Police say less than 4 hours later, around 12:12 a.m. On Friday, a second shooting happened in the same block. Officers located the victim in that shooting in the 300 block of Anacostia SE. The victim, identified as 24-year-old Stefan Carroll of Southeast D.C., was later pronounced dead. Police have no lookout at this time. After this shooting, Drip's funeral would be held on Benning Road, and ops would spin the funeral service, causing Drip's cousin Terrell Coghill to pass away.
The last few hours, police have found the car used in that horrifying shooting outside of a funeral home yesterday, but they're still looking for the killer or killers who shot to death one of the mourners and injured 3 other people.
The family of the murder victim tonight is out with a forceful statement suggesting police knew there could be trouble at the funeral, but did far too little to head it off. Bruce LeShand is here, and Bruce, you've been talking to the family of Terrell Coghill.
Well, that's right, Leslie, I have. They are remembering 29-year-old Terrell Coghill as a loving father, brother, and nephew who had turned his life around and was deeply into music and trying to provide for his daughter. They say he was at the funeral to mourn a close friend. In a statement, they're saying police had been asked to attend the service precisely because of concerns that something like this shooting could happen. Having one officer in close proximity across or down the street does not mitigate violence, the Coghill family wrote. As everyone is aware, most violence happens when the majority of people are outside, i.e. the start or let out of the actual funeral, they said. This tragic shooting occurred 17 minutes after the funeral concluded, and claiming people were milling about is also inappropriate, they wrote. Who leaves a funeral within 10 minutes of it ending without saying farewell to friends and family? Why, they ask, did police leave the premises within 10 to 15 minutes of the funeral ending without ensuring the safety of the funeral goers? Now, we've asked police for a response to these allegations, and we're still waiting to hear back.
That's a pretty strong letter there, Bruce. But police, are they making any progress on this investigation? What are you hearing there?
Yeah, we're hearing that they're making a lot of progress. They found that white Lexus IS 350 that they were looking for, and they're clearly scouring it for some more evidence. Law enforcement sources also tell me that they believe this shooting was connected to a group called, get this, the Fox 5 crew. Sources tell me the attackers from another crew were so brazen they shot up the funeral crowd even knowing police were around. The funeral was for 24-year-old Stephen Carroll, who was himself the victim of a still unsolved shooting late last month in Southeast, about a mile from the Stewart Funeral Home on Benning Road Northeast.
Yeah, and even with a lot of this, Bruce, we know that a lot of people in that neighborhood are just frustrated, right?
They really are. So coming up at 6, we're going to hear from neighbors who were outraged by the shooting at a funeral and pleading with young people to put down the guns and just start talking to each other.
Yeah, that's a consistent plea. All
And
right,
it
Bruce.
would be a start.
Yeah.
If they would.
Yeah,
all right.
thank you, Bruce.
That is the end of this episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow StroffingDMV on Instagram for channel news and updates. Let me know whose story I should do next in the comments too.